Hey everybody, welcome back to Majestic Collectibles. So I've got a part of a comic book collection here. I picked up about 17 or so, 16, 17 long boxes from a buddy of mine up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Thanks, Woody, for giving me a call on this. A little bit bittersweet because, you know, he's a little older than me. And we all kind of get to that age where, you know, maybe we got to start thinking about the future and downsizing and things like that. So this is pretty much, I don't know, a low-grade collection, I guess I'd call it, and we'll go through it here. Most of it isn't sorted. I did sort out the small box and the long box here. So this is just the preliminary stuff. It's probably going to be a while before I get to the rest of it. So this is just kind of a, I don't know, an FYI or whatever you want to call it, a preview on the thing. So let's get started on it. It's pretty neat in that I usually don't get long runs of 10 and 12 cent stuff, and you can see it's definitely not perfect on that. Many of these are going to be in that lower grade category, and I'm okay with that. As long as they're complete and they have covers, that's the big thing. They are saleable. They do not, you know, they just don't bring a lot of money. Even these 10 centers do not bring a ton of money when they're in this condition, but that's okay because you know what? There's a lot of good reader stuff still, and if you're thinking about starting. Like some of the Silver Age, because a lot of that's kind of gotten pricey. Even that mid-grade stuff, depending on the title, is really pricey stuff. To be honest with you, so this is actually a really nice, what I would call a starter collection for somebody. Kind of get your feet wet, kind of see if you like it. There's still plenty of good stories, plenty of good art. Plenty of good covers on there. The action stuff here, which I pretty much pulled the Superman. Superman is not generally my top selling title for anything, honestly. Gold, silver, bronze. Key issues, of course, are always good no matter what. Here's one you can see a chunk out of it. But I do have a lot of guys that buy reader books, and honestly there's just a lot of these titles. Now I'm not sure, and here you can see I've got, this is interesting because I usually don't get a lot of duplication on this, but I do in this collection. There's quite a few issues I've got 2, 3, 4 of. Whoops, good catch, which is kind of fun. Just having the extras, and they are in the same grade. Sometimes you'll get a duplicate, and you know, one will be a low grade, one will be a high grade kind of thing. Anyway, back to the Superman stuff. I really like it, just because, you know, a lot of people buy a $5, $10, 10, 12 cent Superman depending on condition. Just to have one, just pick up a unique cover, maybe something along those lines. And there's just a ton of this title. Did not have a lot of Marvel. There is some in there, but it's very, very heavy on DC, and I would call them B title DC stuff. And when I get to the other boxes finally, I don't know, we'll see what happens. I do need to go back up to Sioux Falls sometime and look through the other half of the collection. So this wasn't everything. We were there about 7 hours. Corey from Collectibles in Minnesota rode along with me. That was a big help, just because when there's a lot of material to go through, you know, it can take a really super long time to go through it all. And so I'll probably make one more trip back up there. I don't know if it'll be this year, at the end of 2024. I've got a pretty packed show schedule, so I don't know if I've got a weekend really coming up. But hopefully, you know, early 2025 would be my best guess. So between the ones I haven't sorted yet and going back there, I'm guessing that this is going to be probably the only video maybe one more before that, because I'd like to kind of get them all together before trying to sort them all, because I tell you that that makes it a lot easier, because these were scattered. These were not together like this. These were scattered over about 17 boxes, so that makes it a little tough. Whoops. Come on now. Okay, there we go. So yeah, right now action, we're in the 350s. 351, there's 353. And again, nothing high dollar. No, well, I shouldn't say no keys. There was one key book in there, and I'll probably do a separate video on that. We're just going to have some fun with it. And you'll see what I mean. So that might be the second video of this batch. May just include that one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And these look nice. I did rebag and board these, and probably got, well, I don't know. I didn't rebag and board everything in that collection because it just wasn't worth it. And you can see I got 3 of those with President Kennedy. That's the President Kennedy issue there. So that'll have a little historical value on that. Forgot what I was blabbing about. On the collection on the Action Comics, they go a lot higher than this. I'm at 404 there on that one, 418. Some really great covers. There was just a few Neil Adams issues in there, mainly an Adventure, I think it was. Maybe it was Superman. I can't remember. And here we go back to Adventure. This is 228. Now this is kind of that really early Silver Age era, probably 1956, 57. I was a huge Batman collector, and that was some of the hardest stuff to get, was stuff from probably 1953 to about 1956. I didn't have a lot of missing issues in my Batman run, but the ones I had were pretty much all in that age range, 239 there. And they just have a really, really neat look to those covers. You can tell instantly that's, you know, that's an old comic with the old style art on it. And I've got quite a few UFO covers, always sell. I'm not going to pull that out, but maybe you can see it. Just a lot of reading wear. Well-loved comics, that's what I was trying to say there. Got some water damage there. There are quite a few of these do have some water damage. That's a great cover. I'm going to move this back just a smidge. There we go. That's a great cover. And here's the same book. Got the water damage up there. And here's a third copy. And that's probably the, well, I don't know, the water damage is probably the lowest grade, but this is just maybe a little bit of brittleness when I bagged and boarded it. And here we're getting into the water damage stuff. This did not happen to my friend. He bought them this way, so he knew that when he got them. He just liked to read them and bought a lot of reading copies. And even if he knew he had it, he would buy another one. So I'm guessing that if I get any more bought, there's a very large possibility you're going to see you're going to see more of these, a lot more of the same, similar issue numbers, similar grades. This is interesting. Somebody took a marker and then wrote 8 cents on the cover. Now, you know, if it wasn't a Mixias Pidalic cover and becoming a Bizarro, I don't know, I think I'd have just given up on that one with the damage, but you know, maybe a few bucks. Really rough Adventure. Had some tape on the spine, left a lot of stains, a big abrasion, probably a tape pull of some sort there. But again, complete. If they weren't complete, I probably won't do a video, but I do have that belonged to Morris or Maurice, I'm not sure. I do have a box I'm putting together. I think I've only got a short box right now of $5 books, and most of them are complete, but they're really super rough, and they will have a lot of action and adventure and DC stuff in it. Come and see me if you guys are going to be around. This is going to air. I don't know if it'll air too late or not. I will have to, I'm not sure. It's going to be close on October 19th. I've got the mini-con, and then the week after that, I've got the QuadCon Des Moines at Merle Hay Mall. They're both free shows. I don't know if I'll have these done. I'm kind of waiting. I want to price and grade them all at once when I get the rest of the collection in. But the $5 stuff, pretty sure that's gonna make the show. So if it's not in time for the mini-con, if there's airs after that, I should still have these at the QuadCon, whatever's left. So they'll be at that one if you guys are interested in any of them. The Legion books do sell better than the rest. So, and there's a lot of them, but the Legion covers do pretty well. Legion of Super Pets, that'll sell. So these'll be I don't know. I have better luck with the adventure books than the action. Chad up with Collectibles likes the action books better than the adventures. So it just kind of does make a difference, I think, where you're located. Get these there. I'll show that one again. I didn't do very good the first time. And I might have I don't know. I might have the Office Ghost in work here. My battery is dropping fast. I'm just gonna move these up. Maybe that'll be a little better way to do that there. Show people that way. They are in numerical order, so when I did bag and board them, I did put them in order. So I'm trying to kind of preserve that, so I don't have to do it twice. That's I don't know. I do like those wonky space covers, and that one was pretty good, especially for that late a date. Usually you had to get that atomic age stuff there to get that big old abrasion there. Pharaoh Lad, I believe, in that one. I'm a huge fan of the Legion. I've had probably 4 complete runs. That includes the adventure books and all the way up through the direct. Whoops, there we go. The direct issue books after the newsstand stuff kind of disappeared when they went with the deluxe paper. Man, I'm trying. I'm sputtering, and I just knocked those books off. We'll get them here. Good heavens. This is what happens when you get old. Well, it's one of the things. We won't get into too many detail on the rest of it. Trust me on that one. So there we go. If you guys see anything you like on here you're interested in, go ahead and message me on it. I don't know if I'll have too many people beating down my door on these. I don't know yet, but I don't think a lot of these are going to end up on my online eBay store. I think there's just probably not enough value for the time it would take to do that. Whoops. It was close. There we go. New sleeves are slippery, so we'll start there and then we'll start another stack. Here we go. So I don't think there's going to be too many of these hitting my eBay store. I'll take them to the local shows. If they're under $10, I'll maybe put a few in my Antique Mall booth at the Brass Armadillo Antique Mall here in Des Moines, Iowa. We'll just have to see how many are. Yep, how many come in cheap, but I think an awful lot of these are because of the condition on them are going to come in $10 and less on an awful lot of them. And it'll be cool to see. You usually don't go into too many antique malls or stores and comic stores anywhere and see these things like sitting on the shelf anymore because of the way they've gone up in price. So hopefully somebody will appreciate them. trying to get through these kind of quick so it's not a super duper long video. Ghost of Pharaoh Lad. And again, got some more duplicates coming up. And we're what, Adventure 360 right here. So we're getting kind of sort of towards the end of the 12 centers. That's kind of a, let's see, what one was that? That was, yeah, it's 361. That's an issue. I don't know if there's anything special about it. I don't think so, but I don't see many of that cover. That was just a cover that does not turn up a lot in the collections when I get them. This is one of my, I don't know why, it's got Shadow Last, but I don't know. I always kind of like that cover, the artwork on it. I'm not sure who off the top of my head drew that one. It's another good cover. Mutiny of the Superheroines. Just had a lot of, you can really tell as you're going through these where the eras, stories, art kind of transitioned. Oh, that one must have been out of order. That was a duplicate. I'll have to put that in the right. One of those is in the wrong spot. And the stories grew up with the cover art, to be honest with you. So there's a lot of changes in the stories and the art both, and you can really see that pretty much in all the DC books. Teen Titans, Doom Patrol, Metal Man, Adventure, Action, Batman, Detective, Green Lantern, just kind of all grew up. Quit being kiddie stuff. Now, I told you that other one is a cover I don't see very often. This is one that, I don't know, I run into this issue all the time. That one with the coffin coming out the side. I don't know why that is. Just dumb luck, I guess. Lots of Supergirl covers coming up, and those are usually pretty popular, to be honest with you. She had her own book, kind of on and off, but she was in Adventure. Featured in there for quite a while, to be honest with you, and she doesn't, even in Adventure comics, she does not necessarily show up all that often. I don't get huge chunks of them. I don't know why. Couldn't tell you exactly, but she has some really good covers. Poor Super Pets. That's one I had, I think from the Paulina collection. I was talking about her uniform. They'd change it because you could design things. You could write in and design costumes for her, so she'd show up in different costumes. I don't know how long that lasted. I think it lasted a little while. Here's a great cover with one, actually a really good villain. I believe that's Enchantress on there. I might be wrong. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I am. And that's the last one in the long box. I'm going to pause this, switch out batteries. We'll get to the short box here next. Okay, there we go. Try and head the office ghost off at the pass, so to speak here. One of my all-time favorite covers, Joe Kubert, Viking Prince. That's Brave and the Bold, number 24. Very low grade. I believe the cover is detached, at least at the bottom staple on it. But really super nice book. I think that's the only one I've got so far, so maybe there'll be more later. I don't know. Here's a couple of books. I know, Corey, you wanted them. So I found them here at Laugh Olympics. That's number 1. And TV Stars, number 3. I don't see either book a lot. And to get one above VG, I'll tell you what, is pretty good, to be honest with you. Because I don't get them in very high grade at all. I'm a big Scooby-Doo fan, so maybe you'll have some Scoobies for me later down the road. I don't know. Hopefully I'll find out. Superboy, 43, 10 cents, pretty rough. I think the cover's completely detached. It is a complete book though, so it's still readable. And they had some really neat Superboy covers. Here's one of my all-time favorites. Again, it's kind of got that, I don't know, Art Deco, you know, Metropolis movie, kind of sci-fi thing going. I don't know why that always appealed to me. Baseball cover, which is not uncommon. You know, that was way before the other professional sports. You know, they were always also rans compared to baseball for many, many decades. So it's not like it is today. The poor eagle, Superboy learning to fly with balloons. Another space, outer space sci-fi cover on that one. Just some really nice covers. You can tell the Superboy covers are growing up. Now, we did skip quite a few issues, so it didn't happen quite that fast in reality. But again, the stories and the art sure changed over time. There's another rocket cover, pretty common on a lot of the Superboy, Superman titles there. It's a giant size one. This one's, it's got a split tear down there, but honestly, it's a fairly nice book. I was a little surprised to see it that nice in there. Usually those giant size ones take a beating. Let me get these out of the way here. There we go. Smaller boxes are a little easier to deal with. I just ordered a couple of cases of short boxes, so I'm going to be switching over to short boxes for everything I possibly can, because they're just so much lighter and easier to deal with. So we're into Superman now. That's 137. And these are, well, that's about the end of the 10 centers. I don't know, is it the last one? I think there's a couple more on that one, because this is 152 and that's a 12. So right in that transition period. That's another cover. I seem to have just an awful lot of those. In fact, these early 12 center Superman generally are not super hard to find. Sorry, I couldn't resist there. Christmas covers will sell. Superman is probably actually my slowest seller of all those titles. The action, the adventure, the Supergirl, Superboy stuff. The Superman does not fly out. They either need just one issue or a specific issue in a grade, and that's about all I sell. Now, I usually don't have this many of them, so I'll be curious to see, you know, maybe having I don't want to say runs, but having quite a few more issues in the same era, maybe I can sell them a little bit easier. So that's something I will have to track. And let's see, the checkerboard top on those. DC did that for, I think, every single title I can think of, unless, maybe some of the romance or something didn't have them, but I think probably they did. I think most of the titles all had that checkerboard top edge, and I don't know, I'm sure there's a story behind it, but I can't tell you why they did that there for a while. Here's the closest thing I have to a key book. It's Superman 199. I'll go ahead and take this out. It's a Superman Flash race. That's probably one of the few issues that does sell pretty regularly for the old Superman, but oh my gosh, it's rough. And I don't know if it was just water damaged. Well, yeah, it was. You can see it down there. So, I mean, it well loved, well read. It is all there, I believe. Let's find out. We'll find out together here. You can see there's some rust migration down there on the bottom staple. Not too bad. There we go. There you can really see it. Not as bad at the top. It's definitely rusted, just not as seriously. So that's probably the closest thing I've got to a key. It's still gonna be pretty affordable in that grade, so if somebody just wants a filler kind of book with that's going to be what that is. That's a good cover. They had everything but the flag on that one. That was, so I don't know if you've seen that one. So I don't know if this was coincidence or not, but the Spider-Man cover where he quits, a lot of similarities there. Just saying. I don't know which one came out first. I'm guessing the Spidey one did, but a lot of similarities to that. I think it was Spider-Man 50, wasn't it? Chunk out of that giant size. But it's Bizarro issue. Bizarro and Red Kryptonite issues do seem to have a bit of an audience. And we're getting there. This is a neat one. 30th anniversary. Superman 207, 1938 to 68. Birthday cake. Bit of a milestone issue. And that's not one I see a lot. So I'm thinking that one might move fairly quickly on it. A lot of these giant size, you gotta have them priced right. You cannot be exotic with the grading and pricing on this stuff. There's just too many of them. They're not a uncommon book or title. So to move this stuff, you do have to have it priced and graded. I'll say reasonably, but what that means is cheap. Here's another cover that I see a lot of that particular. I don't know, this caveman, not really, cover, whatever that is. Here's another cover that does show up pretty frequently, as does this one. Of course, these are the 15 centers, so you're going to see even more of those in the 12 centers. That's a neat one. Gorilla cover, giant size, 239 there. Here's a Neil Adams. Really good cover, popular cover, Superman 317. Got the Kryptonite, but that's a classic cover. That one always sells. 306 there. So that one was well. Was that super? Oh, it was Superman. What was Neil's? Neil's was 317. Yeah, it's something out of order. I'll have to fix that too. Giant size Superman annual number 6. Lois Lane. I actually got a lot of Lois Lane stuff, but there's not a lot of it sells, so I kind of picked out the bondage bikini headlight issues, the romance issue, but I do not have a lot of luck. There's Thorn, Rose and Thorn. In fact, that might be her origin or first appearance. It's really close if it's not the first one. And this is one of my favorite covers. I've got a couple of nice ones. I'd really like a high grade of that. So that goes back to like your Strange Adventures and some of those classic DC sci-fi covers. So I always like that one. Have not found a super high grade one. Well, you can see them online, but I haven't found one in collection. A lot of Jungle covers. Yeah, I'm not even going there, but yeah, I think it's obvious why that one's popular. Here's another popular cover on that one. Here's Jimmy. So Jimmy and Lois, kind of the same. You have to have the right issues. The Wolfman issue always seems to do well. Some of these are just older. It's got the Wolfman and a bunch of other Porcupine Jimmy and stuff. Last the Lad one. This was just a little nicer one, which means it's probably VG. Here we're getting more into the Kirby 70s 50 cent stuff on there. I don't know, it's hit or miss. Not as popular as the Marvel covers, I can tell you that. But there are collectors for them, and they do have a unique look, so they do get some attention. I'm not going to say they fly off the shelf, but they move pretty good. This is a good cover here, actually. That's another one I don't get, and when I do, it's usually not very good. This one, again, is probably a VG, so not a bad book. But some classic Kirby art composition on these. Again, the photo-covered ones were probably a little better. They're a little more unique, where they had Don Rickles was on, I think, 1 or 2 covers and things. So I don't think I got one of those, at least not yet anyway. So we'll go through the last batch here and see what's going on with that. That's not a cover I get a lot. This is a cover I get a lot. And that's it for the Jimmies. Now this is interesting here. I love Justice League, early Justice League cells. This is one of the lowest grade books I have ever bagged and boarded. It is a Justice League 4. I'm not going to take it out. This cover, you can see it right through there. So this corner is detached. The cover is split in half. Some brittleness on the edges. I'll be darned though, it is complete. So somebody again for a reader filler book right there. And this is number 6. Not quite as bad a shape as 4, but I got to tell you, it's not very good. It's not real good, and neither is number 13, Lucky 13. Lots of chipping, and this is all due to some brittleness. So not great paper quality on there. The bowling cover, not super rare. It's starting with 14, 15, somewhere in there. I start seeing them fairly regularly in collections. It seems to be issues under that where they start getting pretty tough. Here's another one. I guess I would consider it a minor key, semi-key, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But just like the Superman Flash, really low grade, and again some brittleness. So I'm not going to take it out because I'll just end up getting all over the place. I got a few nicer ones though. That's number 36. And so that one's a fairly nice book, probably VG fine. Same with this one. I like that on there. You know, anytime there's a crossover with Earth 2, Justice Society stuff, usually pretty good. And that's number 37. Lots of two-part stories with those guys. Here's a low-grade version of the 37. I don't know if you can maybe see the difference in just the color. The one on the right is the higher grade one. But one nice book in there. Here's more crossover, 38 here. Nice Dr. Fate cover. Again, low grade. I believe the cover was detached on that one. I think the bottom of the cover is detached on this one. It's a little nicer shape though. Here's a giant size. Again, the giant size stuff does move. It has to be fairly clean. You know, not a lot of spine damage, which is really hard to get one without any. But, you know, as clean as you can on the spine and the corners on the spine, top and bottom. Great cover there. And the last one, so we've got Justice League, let's see, 116. Giant size 100 pagers. Again, another great cover. Has some, you know, crossover stuff. You got Starman, Black Canary, Jokers in the bottom there. So that's it. That's the first box and a half from Sioux Falls, and I'll get to the other ones as soon as I can, but probably going to be doing some movie posters first till I get the rest of the collection in. Anyway, I guess check out those videos and we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.